hands, interlace your fingers. Bring the right thumb, left leg is forward, right thumb is on top. I'd like you to lift the arms up and squeeze down, and you're just going to lift the left arm up and stretch. Bring the arm over as you exhale. Inhalation, and if you want to, you soften into the elbow and you exhale. Try not to hyperextend the backs of the legs. I can hear those hamstrings. And then walk yourself around to the right side. So you're just stretching down into the right leg, taking a few deep breaths. Namaste. I greet you in love, light, and joy. I am Jane, and welcome to your yoga practice. We are going to be working on back extensions. As you know, the spine is made up of 33 vertebrae, 7 cervical, 12 thoracics, 5 lumbar, 5 sacrum, and 4 coccyx. So for today's practice, you are going to need a willing mind and a blanket. I'm sitting on my blanket right now. So we're going to roll ourselves on our back. So we're going to start on the back. So make sure that you are in the center of your mat, and you're going to roll yourself down onto your backs. Place your feet in line with your sits bones. So you might only be able to have your feet here. You're going to bring your feet until you feel they are comfortable. You're going to soften into the pelvic bowl. We are going to be just reprogramming into this lower area of the pelvis. We hold and house a lot of tension. And if we're holding on too much, how are we going to move forward in life? So today's class is also linked to the base chakra, the Muladhara chakra, and the second chakra, Svadhisthana. So bring your hands next to your sides and just let the body release for a moment. Now notice my hands are turned upwards, my feet are slightly turned in so that my knees and my hips are basically in line. What I'm looking for is you have that sense of the femur dropping back into the hip joint. Your chin is rolled in. Imagine that you have a pair of socks. So you're not tucking the chin in, you're not lifting the head up. You have just come into a neutral spine and you're looking up towards the ceiling. Now automatically start to notice, are you breathing in and out of your abdominal area? Notice if you push the belly away on the inhalation, and on the exhalation, you're going to bring the belly in, the navel into spine. And you're just focusing on your breath. You can close the eyes and soften. As you let go, you might find that your shoulders are wrapped around your ears. As you focus in on your breath, you can just release your shoulders and allow yourself to settle onto the floor. Now you might notice that one side of the pelvis might feel a little more twisted than the other. Just take note of that, and then during your practice, notice if your lower back seems to settle. So we're going to use our breath to center, but also to start the first asana. You're going to start with small pelvic rocks. We're going to use the breath. On the exhalation, you're going to tilt your pelvis upwards. So you're scooping the pubic bone up to the ceiling. Inhalation, you're going to drop. Don't hyperextend the spine too much. Exhalation, you're going to rock. Inhalation, exhalation, inhalation. And you're closing the eyes and you're just doing these small little pelvic rocks. Now, inhalation, you're going to start, you can start to hyperextend a little more. Inhalation, you're actually going to stretch into the diaphragm. And exhalation. Now you might go up a little higher. Inhalation, stretch into the floating ribs. And exhalation. Now bring yourself back to center, plant your hands. We're going to work a little further into this now. Now it's a different breathing to what you're normally used to when you do the bridge. So normally we would uphill, breathe in on the up and exhale on the down. But we're going to do that differently. On the exhalation, you're going to lift yourself up. And you don't have to come up too high. You're following each one of those vertebrae. On the inhalation, you're going to roll yourself down and tilt so that you have a little bit more of a hyperextension. Exhalation, you're going to roll up a little higher. Don't come any higher than the mid shoulder blades. And inhalation. So now we're going to lift the head. On the exhalation, you're going to lift the pubic bone, tuck your chin to your throat. Inhalation as you drop and lift the chin. So now you're creating a hyperextension. Exhalation, you lift up. Inhalation, pushing through the arms, roll your shoulders away from your ears. Exhalation. Inhalation. Let's just do one more together. Exhalation. And inhalation. Right, gently bring yourself back to your center. Turn the palms to face up once again. Notice if the body has eased a little bit. Right, from here we're going to just bring our knees to our chest and we're going to just do 3 asanas. Exhalation, bring your knees into your chest. Inhalation. So all the while you're going, oh, can I feel my one side of the back more than I feel the other, the spinal extensors. Exhale. Now if you can roll yourself up into a seated position or you roll yourself over to your white, bring yourself up. From here we're going to come up into a standing position. So if you take your legs normally to one side, take them to the other side. Plant your hands, tuck your toes under. Just by tucking your toes under, you're going to be stretching into the arches of your feet, which also represents the spine. On the exhalation, you bring yourself into a nice little forward fold. Now stay here and you're just going to bend and stretch. Bend and stretch. Let the head hang. By letting your head hang, you're going to let the head become heavy and it's going to start to stretch out the upper back. On the inhalation, you're going to bring yourself all the way back up and roll your shoulders back and down. Coming into a nice little samasthiti. Roll the shoulders back. Get yourself nice and comfortable. Now tilt the pelvis, watch you're not hyperextending. Tilt the pelvis slightly forward. Soften into the knees. Take a few nice deep breaths here. Bringing your hands onto your shoulders, you're going to circle the elbows. So you touch the elbows together on the inhalation, exhalation, inhalation, exhalation, inhalation. Let's just do one more together. Inhalation and exhalation. Roll your shoulders back and down, hands next to your sides, come back into samasthiti. Now tucking your chin to your throat, roll the shoulders down. Inhalation, you lift up the head. Exhalation, tucking your chin to chest. Inhalation as you lift up the head. You're going to bring your head back to center. Turn your head from side to side. Don't force it, just be aware of how is your neck feeling today. Exhalation, inhalation, and exhalation. Inhalation, you're going to come back to center. Right from here, we're going to just swing out the arms. So you're just moving the body, but you're shifting your weight from side to side. And start to bring the arms up and down, up and down, up and down, and then gently bring yourself back to your center. So I'd like you to step yourself toward the back end of your mat. Now we're just going to do a little walk. I'd like you to bring your right foot forward. As you do so, you bring your right knee in line with your second and third toe. You bring the body weight forward without rolling the shoulders forward. So keep the shoulders back and down. Now your hip is in. As you straighten the leg, you'll notice the hip goes out. Shift your left foot forward. Bend the knee, spread your toes, bring the body weight forward. Keep the hip tucked in, push out the hip as you bring your right foot forward. You're doing a small little gentle walk, being aware of the mechanics of how your physical body actually does move forward. Spread your toes, bring the body weight forward, push out the hip, straightening the leg. You'll notice I'm not hyperextending the leg. Coming forward, rolling the shoulders, straightening, not all the way, pushing out the hip ever so slightly. Last time, spreading the toes, bringing the body weight forward. And then from here, you're going to step yourself back without even looking backwards. So this is our proprioceptors that we're working with. Right from here, you're going to lift the arms up. Now I'd like you to stretch. Of course, you stretch out your fingers, wiggle your wrists. We're not flicking the hands, we're just rolling. We can roll. And then from here, you're going to interlace your fingers. Stretch out those joints, lift the arms up, stretch up. And then we're going to go just over to the right side, pushing into your left heel of your wrist. Inhalation and exhale over to the second side. Inhalation as you bring yourself back up. Change your grip of your hands. Inhalation, lift up. Watch you're not pushing your bottom out. This is not what we're looking for. Tilting forward. Over to the right, you're keeping this left shoulder nice and open. Inhalation and exhale over to the other side. Just having a lovely stretch into the rib cage. Inhalation, and on the exhalation, you're going to bring yourself back down. Change your hands. We're going to lift the arms up. Now I'd like you to square the wrist off, and if you're trying to pull those fingers apart, slot your shoulder blades down towards the waist. Squeeze those shoulder blades. Watch you're not pushing out the bottom. There should be complete comfort in the lower part of the torso. Slowly, you're going to release it. Take a breath out. Change the interlace of your fingers. Inhale and stretch. So you're not jutting the head. You're not squeezing the shoulders towards the ears. You're broadening across the back. Slowly from here, you're going to release the arms down. Roll the shoulders back and down. From here, we're going to do a little rotation. You're going to float the arms up for a moment, broaden across the back, soften the knees, and on the exhale, you're keeping your right hip forward. Inhalation. So you will feel to about thoracic 5, 6, 7. Inhalation, come back. Exhalation as you rotate, keeping your hips forward, drop your shoulder. Inhalation, exhalation as you rotate. So you're actually as if you were looking at your own spine. Inhalation, come back to center. Exhale and roll your shoulders back. Now we're going to do another step forward and back. I'd like you to take your hands onto either spine. There's my spine. On either side, I have what they call spinal extensors. It's a big broad band of muscle. Now, just so that you can understand how amazing our body is, I'd like you to just bring your right foot forward. So you're holding your hands on your back, and you're going to step forward, making sure that your feet are facing forward. So you're not walking like a duck, and you're just stepping forward and back. Here you can actually see if those spinal extensors are switched on. Bring yourself back to center and step forward. Now try not to look at your feet. Open the chest. I can feel those muscles are working beautifully. How are yours doing? And slowly, whoops, come back to your center. We're going to lift the arms up, reach up and stretch. Now on the exhalation, you're going to just sweep the arms forward, look through the legs, lift the arms up as high as you can. Inhale as you lift up, come into a little back bend, don't hyperextend the legs. Exhalation, reach a little further forward if you can. Inhalation as you lift up, open up the chest. Last time, exhalation, you reach as far forward as you can. Take the hands back, lift the arms up. Inhalation as you bring yourself all the way back up. Exhale as you release it. Let's do our first little vinyasa. Inhale, float the arms up. You're going to go over to the right side, stretch. Take a light breath into the left side. Inhalation. Exhalation over to the second side. Inhalation, keeping the torso facing forward, the pelvis facing forward. Rotate into the right. Inhalation and rotate into the left. Inhalation, come back. Exhale as you release it. Now we're going to do a cat-cow. Remember when we did that little pelvic rock at the beginning of our class? We're going to do the same. So here, hands onto knees. On the exhale, you're going to tuck your chin to your chest, suck the navel in. Inhalation, lift the chin. Exhalation, you're going to round the back. Inhalation as you look forward. Exhalation, suck your navel into spine. Think of your left side of your spine and the right side of the spine working perfectly together. Last time, you're going to bring yourself all the way back up, roll the shoulders past the ears, and come up into standing. Bring your hands into prayer position. We'll just tap the hands together. You're going to inhale as you tap, open up the chest. Exhale, bring your hands all the way back down. Inhale, lift up the arms. Now take your hands, as you do, you squeeze your shoulder blades down, tap the hands together at the back. Now this is where you can go, okay, I can feel my one shoulder isn't working as it should do. Inhalation, lift up. Exhalation, bring your hands down. Inhalation, you lift up. Exhalation, bring your hands down. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Now, if you want to, interlace your left thumb on top of your right. So you're interlacing. You're going to lift the arms up as high as you can and then come into a nice flat back. You're not jutting the chin, you're looking forward, not towards the feet, just down. Lift the arms up, flatten the back. Inhalation, lift up. Roll your shoulders back and down. Remember, right thumb is on top. Inhalation and exhalation. Inhalation, let's do the other side. Reach up. Exhalation, spread your fingers. You're tapping into your auric field. Inhalation, you're expanding it. So now your left thumb is on top. Flat back it. Looking down, not towards your feet, just in front of you. Lift up, lift up, lift up, lift up. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. On the next inhalation, bring yourself up. Drop the shoulders. Inhalation and exhalation. Roll your shoulders. So let's take that one step further. How are you doing? Right, hands together. Inhalation as you lift up. Exhalation, take the right thumb on top. Lift up. Now you soften into the knees, and on the exhalation, just get a different view of the world. Lift the arms up as high as you can. Inhalation and exhalation, they won't fall out. You let the head hang. And on the inhalation, coming up all the way. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. Reach the arms down. Inhalation and exhalation. All right, so now it's the left thumb on top. Inhalation, exhalation. You're going to interlace the fingers. Lift the left thumbs on top. Roll the shoulders. Exhalation, come into a nice little forward fold. Let the body hang. Look through the legs. You're not jutting the head forward. Squeeze those arms. Squeeze the one in. If one shoulder's not coming in like it should. Inhalation. Roll yourself all the way back up. Exhale as you release it. Right, let's roll the shoulders back and down. Come into a Samastiti. Take a few nice deep breaths in and out. So we're going to just come into a nice little forward fold into Ardha Mukha Savanasan, our downward facing dog. So just let your body hang. You can fold your one elbow over the other and you come down as far as you feel comfortable. You might have your hands resting on your knees. You can even let your shoulders just release. Your feet are facing forward. Now just change the elbows over. Taking a few nice deep breaths in and out, in and out. Now walking your hands forward. Coming into that down dog, roll your shoulders away from your ears, and on the exhale, come into downward facing dog. Now wiggle across the toes. You're not taking the feet out to the side, as if you had another foot in between your feet. Roll the shoulders. Don't have to bring the heels onto the floor. Broadening into the upper back, you're going to bend your knees, and I'd just like you to straighten the legs. Bend the knees and straighten the legs. Bend the knees and straighten the legs. Put an inward smile. Bend the knees, straighten the legs. Bend the knees and straighten the legs. Right from here, come into your comfortable down dog. We're going to do, if you need a rest, please come out and have a rest. Eventually your wrists do get stronger. Now we're going to do a little sequence. We're going to come down dog. Then we're coming into our plank. Then we're coming into our down dog, and we're going to come into up dog. But we're not going to roll onto the tops of the feet. So you're going to come through. Now let's just do a beginner's level first. Knees come down, broaden across the back, tuck the toes. Exhale into down dog. Inhale into an up dog. Roll the shoulders. Exhale into down dog. So let's do that 4 more times. Here you could take it one step further. Exhalation, down dog. Inhalation, up dog. Use the navel to spine. Exhale. Use the breath. Inhalation. Exhalation. Inhalation. Exhalation. Inhalation. Exhalation. Inhalation. Exhalation. Let's just do one more time. Inhalation. Exhalation. Inhalation. And exhalation. Well done. Walk your feet towards your hands. Coming into a nice little forward fold. Get your feet nice and toes nice and spread. Drop the head, and on the inhalation, you bring yourself all the way up into standing. How are we doing? Right, so we're going to work those proprioceptors a little bit without looking. Now, let's just do a standing. So I'd like you to just bend your left knee. And you can have the arms out to the sides. Find a point on your floor, your drishti point, or in front of you. And I'd like you to just don't take the leg out too far. You can also be just holding onto the wall. And you're just moving the leg, but your focus Notice as soon as I lift the leg up, what happens? I push the hip out. I've gone too far. I just want you to be aware, chest is rolled back and down, pubic bone is slightly tilted. Forward, not backwards. Put your foot down. Take a breath. Spread your toes. Find that sense of balance. You're going to move the leg. Just enjoy the fact that you're standing on one leg. Try and keep the body upright. Notice is one leg more stable than the other. And then slowly you're going to put your foot down. Well done. So let's go back to standing. We're going to step ourselves back. So here you're going to ground down, bend the knees slightly, tilt the pelvis, lengthen into your spine, shift your weight towards the left knee, just as we've just practiced, taking your right foot back. Now here you're going to roll your shoulders back and down, pivot onto the ball of your back foot. Now if you want to be near a wall, you can touch the wall, but I'd like you to spread into the arches of your foot. So you're spreading that back arch. You're just going to have your hands onto your waist and you're going to bend and stretch. Bend and stretch. Bend and stretch. Now as you become more confident in this front leg, I'd like you to bend your knee a little more. Bend, I think that's 6, and stretch. Try not to bump yourself up. Step yourself forward and put your foot down. Shift your weight over to the second side. Lift your left foot up. Find that sense of balance. Take yourself back. Once again, remember, you could be holding onto the wall. You could even have a chair in front of you to stabilize yourself. Pivot your back foot. Get yourself nice and steady. More advanced students, you can have a 90 degree on your front knee. Hands can be on the waist and you're just going to lift up. Pump into that back calf. Pump the back calf. And you can even bend the knee. As long as you're stretching into the arch of the foot. Rolling your shoulders, don't go forward. Even if your hands are on the back of a chair, your chest is still open. Step yourself together. Whoops. And put the foot down. So now we're going to take that one step further. You, of course, can stay exactly in that last position if that was enough. Shift your weight towards your left leg once again. Take your right leg back. Get yourself nice and grounded. Notice my back foot is out. I'm stabilizing through my back foot. Bend your front knee. Now on the exhalation, you're just going to reach forward. On the inhalation, you're going to lift up. My back is already in a back extension. On the exhalation, if you want to, try and touch the floor. Inhalation as you lift up. Exhalation, you're going to reach as far forward as you can, pivot onto the ball of your back foot and reach. Inhalation, exhalation, inhalation, exhale, put your back foot down. Use the in-breath to lift yourself up. Now, I'd like you to take your hands and you're going to interlace your fingers. To keep the brain happy, bring your right thumb. So you're going to use your right thumb is going to be on the top thumb. So when you feel like you want to wobble, just push into your left thumb through the right. So you roll your shoulders back and down. You're going to reach forward. Now you reach forward, you look down towards your big toenail, then you look towards your heel, then you look towards your back foot. Lift the arms, bend the front knee as much as you can. Towards the heel, towards the big toe. Inhale, bring yourself up. Exhale as you release the hands. Rolling your shoulders, you've got a 90 degree. Inhale, lift up, squeeze. Exhale as you reach forward, big toe, ankle, back foot. Ankle, big toe. Inhale, lift yourself up. Exhale as you release. So let's take that. That could be your level for now. Inhale, squeeze. Exhale, big toe, ankle, back foot. Lift the arms up as high as you can and squeeze. Just breathe. We're staying here. Even though we're static, we are still allowing the breath to lead us. Look towards your ankle. Look towards your big toe. Inhale, lift yourself up. Exhale as you release it. Well done. Right, from here, we're going to pivot onto our back foot. Body weight comes forward. You can have the arms either onto the finger, onto the wall. Find your sense of balance, or hands onto the waist. Inhale, see if you can lift that right foot up and put your foot down. Connect to your breath. Spread your right foot. Let's do that on the left. Bend your right knee. Inhale, lift up. Take yourself all the way back and get yourself lunged. So you're not looking, you feel where your back foot is, and you've got a nice 90 degree. Have your hands on your waist, next to your sides. On the exhale, you're just going to reach forward. Inhalation, lift up, try and get a 90 degree. Exhalation as you reach forward. Inhalation as you lift up. Exhalation, you're going to reach far forward as you can. Pivot onto your back foot, on your toes. Look towards your ankles. Is your big toe, second and third toe facing forward. Bend the front knee. Let the heart rate go up a little bit. Pivot your back foot. You need to come up. Inhale as you bring yourself back up. Now you touch the left thumb onto your knee. Try and get a nice 90 degree. Take your hands behind you. Push into the left thumb onto the right. Roll your shoulders. Just 3 times. Lift the arms. Reach the chin forward. Look towards your big toe. Ankle. Back foot. Ankle. Big toe. Inhale. Easy peasy. Release the arms. Lift the arms up. Exhale, reaching forward. Big toe, ankle, back foot. Inhaling, inhale, inhale, and exhale. Inhale, lift up. Squeeze the shoulders. Exhale. Looking forward to the big toe. Just the simple movement in my neck. How it actually, now lift your arms up as high as you can. Remember, we held this for 3 breaths on the other side. Looking forward, slowly does it. Use the in-breath to lift yourself up. Roll your shoulders back and down. Shifting your body weight forward. You can have your hands onto the wall, onto the waist, onto the wall, onto the chair as you step yourself together and you slowly release it. Giving your legs a little shake out. Once we've done quite a few asymmetrics. Let's just come back into symmetry. Close the eyes, come into a comfortable samastiti. Now I want you to notice if you can feel your thighs are burning a little bit. Notice you might have a little tremor inside the lower pelvis. That's all good. Shift your weight over to your left leg. Roll the shoulders. Lift your right foot back. Get yourself nice and steady and comfortable. Just 3 Virabhadrasana number 2. You're going to reach forward. Reach on the inhalation, rolling your shoulders back and down. You're going to look up to the ceiling. Stretch your fingers. Bend your front knee a little more if you can. Exhale. If you can, brush the floor. If you can't, maybe you just bring your right hand, then left hand onto your knee. And exhalation and inhalation as you lift up and breathe. Hold this for 3 breaths. Slowly lifting the head back up, you're going to gently release it. Turn your back foot, bring your body weight slightly forward. Let this leg take the weight. Slowly on the inhalation and exhalation, put your foot down. Right, get yourself back to center. Roll the shoulders. Come back to Samastiti. Bend your right knee. Lift the left leg back. And take yourself back, getting yourself nice and steady. Even I'm using the wall. Bend your right knee. Get yourself comfortable into Virabhadrasana. Reach your hands forward. Inhalation, lift up. This is Virabhadrasana number 1. Sorry guys, it's not Virabhadrasana number 2. Exhalation. Inhalation. Bring yourself all the way back up. Breathing in, exhalation, reaching forward. Last time, inhalation, lift yourself all the way back up. Reach up and hold for 3 breaths. Slowly bring yourself forward, pivot your back foot, bring the body weight forward and step yourself together. Give your legs a little shake out. Once again, come back into Samastiti. Let's just do a forward fold. So exhale yourself into a nice little forward fold. So we're going to take that just a little bit further. On the inhalation, you bring yourself up. Roll your shoulders back and down. Right from here, we're going to shift our weight towards the left leg once again. Float the right leg up. Find that sense of balance. Body weight over the right knee. Left leg, right leg back. Roll the shoulders back and down, bend your front knee. So we're going to work a little bit with the pyramid pose, bringing the right hip forward. Coming into Virabhadrasana number 1, you're going to inhale, reach the arms up, lift up and stretch, and breathe. Lift the head up, and on the exhalation, you're going to reach your hands forward. Now, if you cannot reach your hands onto the floor, you can either cup an orange on your fingertips or put 2 books underneath your hands. I'd like you to pivot your back foot. So now your back foot is totally coming forward. Bend your front knee and bring your right hip forward. You're going to feel how the lower back actually flattens. Now from here, you're going to straighten your front leg as you lift the toes off the floor. You're trying to bring your right foot onto the floor. Inhalation as you reach forward. Exhalation as you reach back. Now, inhalation, if you can, keep the left foot onto the floor and keep the right foot coming forward. So you'll notice my back heel doesn't quite come onto the floor, but that's fine. Plant your hands as much as you can. Now, you're not lifting the head. You're not tucking the chin to the chest. You're just looking down. So I'm looking towards here, just in front of me. And breathing, rolling the shoulders back and down.
Bringing my right hip forward, I'm going to feel a huge stretch into the front of my left leg, right up the shin bone. Right from here, I'm going to bend my knees. I'm going to bring my left ground, my right foot, as well as my left foot. Now, take your hands, interlace your fingers. Bring the right thumb, left leg is forward, right thumb is on top. I'd like you to lift the arms up and squeeze, just as we've practiced. Now, can you pivot your back foot, even if it's just a little bit, and lift the arms up as you try and bring your nose to your shin. Stay here and breathe. And then slowly on the inhalation, release the hands, bring your hands next to your front foot. Bring either your front foot in, get yourself nice and grounded through the back foot. Use the in-breath to lift yourself up. Exhalation, lift the right leg through the in-breath. And on the exhalation, put your foot down. Right, let's do that onto the second side. Lengthen into the spine, soften into the pelvis. Take a breath. Shifting your weight towards your right foot. You're going to inhale, bend your right knee as you take yourself forward, or your left foot back, right knee stays bent. And you slowly get yourself nice and steady. Inhale, you're just going to lift the arms up and come into a Vera 1. Just hold. Gently lifting the head. From here, you're going to bring yourself all the way back down. Bend your front knee, hands on either side of your front foot. Now I'd like you to pivot into your back foot, and you're going to lift up the front toes as you bend your front knee. Lift up the front toes as you bend the front. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Now, you're going to straighten the front leg. If you can keep the foot, the front foot flat, you do so. If you can keep your left hip forward, you do so. You might find that your heel is back, heel is off the floor. You can stabilize through the hands, through your books, whatever you're using to support yourself. Try and straighten the front leg as much as you can, and you're not tucking your chin forward, you're just looking down towards your shin. Right from here, you could stay at this level, but if you want to, you're going to bend your front knee, get your back foot grounded, take your hands behind you, cross your left thumb on top of the right. Start by lifting up the arms. This might be enough, but if you can, you straighten, lift the arms up as high as you can, and you're going to straighten your front leg as much as you comfortably can. Inhalation, exhalation, inhalation, and exhalation. Slowly release it. Get your feet, you might have to bring them in a little bit. Use the in-breath to lift you. Exhale, pivot the back foot. Inhale, lifting up. And exhale as you release it. Well done. So now we're coming to face you can still stay facing the long length of your mat. I'm just coming to face you so you can see what I'm doing. Extending the legs out in front of you. Now let go of your hips. Soften into the pelvis, soften into the legs. And here you can actually make sure that they are nice and soft. You don't have to flex the feet. For today, I want you to soften. And you might find that the legs are shaking a little bit, the pelvis might be shaking a little bit. So you can just take a breath in and sigh out. Now,
Are you pushing your bottom out, or are you tilting your pelvis slightly forward? Roll the shoulders back and down, so we've come into a form of Dandasana, your stick pose. So your hands are next to your sides. Stretch out your neck, put a smile on your face, and on the inhalation you're going to lift up and stretch. Now I'd like you to listen to your lower back. Often we try and bring ourselves far too forward, our hamstrings aren't ready for it. If you can bring your chest onto your shin bones, that's great, but not all of us are there. So you just bring yourself comfortable to wherever you are. If you're feeling a pull on your lower back, remember today's class is more about the spine and also letting go of the hips. So if you're holding onto the pelvis, it's also sometimes nice just to release the back a little bit or come up a bit higher. Right from here, you're going to inhale and bring yourself up. So now let's swing the spine again. Cross your legs, and if you can, bring your one ankle in front of the other. Just open up into the hips. So here again, it's not about how far you get over. Bring your right hand down, and you're just going to lift the left arm up and stretch. Bring the arm over as you exhale. Inhalation, and if you want to, you soften into the elbow, and you exhale. Inhalation, you bring yourself up. You are letting go of the pelvis. You're going to bring yourself up and exhale as you release. Inhalation, exhale, dropping that right knee, dropping the left knee. Inhalation, come back to center. Now this is another one. Bring yourself as far as you're comfortable. If you can bring yourself all the way down without creating tension in the pelvis, then do so. Walk yourself around to your right knee. As you exhale, you come all the way down. As soon as you start to feel it pulling, you stop. Inhalation, come back to center. Release your shoulders. Inhalation and exhale. Take yourself over to the second side. Often we stretch far too much. Inhalation, remember, muscle is only going to go so far, and then it goes, not going to go anymore. Don't pulse the body. Inhalation, come back to your center. You might be able to bring yourself all the way down. And we're not tucking the chin, we're just looking down, rolling the shoulders away from the ears. And on the inhalation, you're going to bring yourself up and just take your hands behind your back, lift up, open up, drop the knees, and slowly come back to center. Well done. Change over to the second side. Start on the right side. Inhalation, so we're going with the gut. Over and stretch. Inhalation and exhalation. Inhalation, come up. Exhalation, over to the second side. Inhalation and exhalation. Inhalation, you come back to center. Well done. Let's go forward as you exhale. Here again, it's more about letting go of the hips as well. Walk yourself around to your right side. Deep breath in and deep breath out. Come back to your center once again. Over to the second side. As you exhale, you're opening up and you're releasing into the knee. You've got a lovely stretch into the neck muscles, the sternocleidomastoid. Inhalation, you're getting that shoulder down. Come back to center. Watch the knees, watch the pelvis. Inhalation, you bring yourself up, lift the chin, roll the shoulders, support the head with the shoulders. Drop the knees and slowly come back to your center. Roll the shoulders. So here now we're going to open up the legs. And it's not about having them so wide that you actually start to hurt the inner groin. I'd like you, just by sitting having your legs slightly open, I'd like you to feel that you've got a nice little release into this crease of the legs. You're going to just bring yourself forward. Inhalation, there shouldn't be too much of a pull on the sacrum, and you're just flattening into the back. You're not lifting the chin, you're rolling the shoulders, and it's just a nice forward fold. From here, you're going to take yourself around to the right leg. You're inhaling, you're trying to let go of the whole of the right leg. You feel yourself centered, you're sitting right on your base chakra. Over to the second side, you go over, inhalation and exhale.
inhalation and exhalation. Come all the way back to your center, just release it. So let's do a little rotation. Here you might either to be able to take hold of your big toe. What I've learned this from this week's class is that as soon as I put my elbow down, I feel it in my lower back. So I'm going to, for today, I'm just going to have my elbow onto my shin. Hand comes on, left hand onto waist, and I'm just going to rotate and just float the arm up and bring the arm over. And just let gravity bring the arm over. Try not to rotate the body. Inhalation, and you can have your hands staying on the waist. Don't drop the head. And then slowly bring yourself back to your right leg, walk yourself back, and then over to the left side. Here again, take hold wherever you're comfortable, and you're going to rotate. Keeping this right shoulder back, inhalation, often we try and bring the arm over the head, and in doing so, we collapse into that right shoulder. Inhalation, exhalation, you're letting go and you're softening into your hips. Slowly, you're going to come back all the way to the center of your body, and on the inhalation you come up to seated. So you'll notice, even though the class is about back extensions and working with the spine, because we work back bends, side bends, forward bends, back bends and twists, normally they're not all practiced together in one class, so I've kept them quite low key so that nobody injures themselves. So here, let go into the pelvis once again. Take your right leg and bring it across. Now here, often we try and sit up as tall as we can. Today, just let go of the hip. Let go of the knee. Put a smile on your face, and we're going to turn towards the left side. Now, often we try and shift and we lift the shoulders. Please not today. Get that movement back, and you exhale. All the time you're letting go of your right groin. Your left leg is completely soft. Right, come back to center, and we're going to exhale. As you do, sometimes we automatically lift up the shoulder, but bring the shoulder down and take yourself over to the second side. Breath in, breath out, breath in, and you're just playing and working very consciously into the upper spine. Inhalation, come back to center, love your leg, give it a hug, thank it for showing up, and then you're going to just release into your right leg. From here, lift your left knee in, cross it over, let go of that leg. Sit up nice and tall, cup an orange with your right hand, soften into the leg, and on the exhalation, you rotate. Inhalation, exhalation as you rotate. Let's just do one more because we can. Exhalation, and you rotate. Inhalation, come back to center, letting go of your hip. Lift the leg up, take hold of it, don't lift the shoulder, and exhale. Often when we do binds, we end up totally making the spine askew or at an angle. Inhalation, just because we want to lift up the shoulder, and the shoulders are at an angle. So we're keeping our spine as upright as we can. Inhalation, come back and just draw the knee into chest, give it a love and thank it. So we're going to go just for a few breaths into a child posture. So we're going to close everything up. If you can, you bring your knees together. If you find that too uncomfortable, you can have your knees apart with your big toes crossed at the back. And if you need to, you can rest in a castle. From here, if you are comfortable, rest in your balasana. Gives you a lovely opportunity to just take a few breaths into your spine. Feel the rib cage on the back body, just breathing. If you're not sure if you're breathing there, you can always put your hands, if your arms allow you, or your shoulders allow you to get your hands there. And on the next inhalation, you're going to bring yourself back up. Once again, coming up into a standing position, just as a transition, you're going to bring yourself all the way into a lovely Uttanasana, forward fold, and on the inhalation, you're going to bring yourself back up. Well done. Turning your feet, I'd like you to have your feet about mat distance apart so that you have the sense of stability. You feel from your navel to the feet, you have a nice sense of stability. Roll your shoulders, don't push your bottom out. You'll most probably find that your back is feeling a lot more comfortable. Roll the shoulders, just let the arms come next to the sides. Close the eyes and have a lovely breath. So we're going to just do another little sequence. You're going to lift the arms up, just at 90 degrees. Open the chest, and then from here, you're going to come into a flat back. Soften into the knees, and then you bring your hands down onto the floor. Let your head hang. You're going to open up the legs a little wider, just toe here, healing the feet. Notice that the feet are facing forward, and then just let your body hang. Once again, your head is going to act as a weight. Try not to hyperextend the backs of the legs. I can hear those hamstrings. And then walk yourself around to the right side. So you're just stretching down into the right leg, taking a few deep breaths. It's a lovely stretch also into the side of your rib cage towards the back. Inhalation, come back, drop the head. Take yourself over to the second side as you stretch. Deep breath in and deep breath out. Inhalation, come back. You're going to flat, strong arms, roll the shoulders back and down. Have your hands underneath your shoulders. Broaden across the upper back and then come onto your tippy toes. Try and have your big toes facing forward, second toes, so that you're really stretching. It's like you've got a really high pair of high heels on. Don't drop into the shoulders. Now you're going to put your feet down and you're going to toe heel your feet back to where you started. Feet are facing forward. Walk your hands back. Now take your hands onto your lower back. Roll the shoulders and flat back it. Even if your knees, you're not looking forward, you're not looking back, you are just looking down. On the inhalation, you're going to suck your navel into spine as you bring yourself all the way back up. Now you're going to float the arms up. Reach the arms up to the ceiling. You're going to have the hands strong, but don't squeeze the ears. Soften the knees. Take yourself over to the right side. Inhalation over to the left side. Inhalation. Now take an exhale. Inhalation as you open up. Breathe. And then exhalation. Bring your hands so the arms are out in front. Keeping the pelvis forward. You exhale to the right. Inhale. Exhale to the left. Inhale and exhale. Well done. Stepping yourself towards the front end of your mat. On the exhalation, coming into your forward fold. Let the head hang. Come onto your bottom. Now, if you could do a little squat there with your heels down, that would also be great. So, come down through the center, flattening your back just as we started off the class today. I'd like you to bring your feet next to your bottom. Now, already just reassess, how does your spine feel? Are the nostrils breathing equally? So let's just do 3 Asanas. Bring the knees into your chest. Inhalation. Exhalation, bring the knees into your chest. Inhalation, last time. Exhalation, knees into chest. Putting your feet down onto the floor. Taking your hands next to your sides. Remember that when we lifted the head and lifted the tail together. We're going to do that just 4 times. You don't have to come up too high. So on the exhalation, you're going to lift the pelvis, tuck your chin to your throat as you look towards your pubic bone. Inhalation, as you lift up the chin, do a little hyperextension. Exhalation, you're going to lift up.
Inhalation as you look up to the ceiling. Exhalation as you lift up. Tilt the pelvis, suck the navel in. Inhalation as you open up. And one last time, exhalation and you inhale. Slowly bring your head back to center. Let's just do 3 small little pelvic rocks. So you're going to exhale, inhale, exhale. So you're aware of rolling each one of those lumbars. Often we tend to flatten the lower back or plonk it down and slowly come back to your center. Right from here, let's see where we're off to now. We're actually going to do just 2 bridges. So nice little counter postures. Plant your hands next to your sides. Now notice if you've rolled the shoulders, rolled them back. You're going to inhale as you lift yourself up. Come up as high as you can. And on the exhalation, this is where you come down every little vertebra, nice and slowly. Even when you come to the lower lumbars, remember you squeeze in, inhale and release it. Come back to center. One more time. Inhalation, you're going to lift up, roll your shoulders. Now if you can, interlace the fingers, lift up. Notice you must be pushing left thumb into right or right thumb and then just change it. Right, notice one side is pulling more than the other. Don't let the knees open or drop out or drop in. Exhalation, release the hands as you bring yourself all the way down, settling yourself onto your spine. Right, to finish the end of our class, I'd like you to either cover yourself with your blanket. You could even put your blanket underneath your head. If your neck is feeling a little tender, flatten your back onto the floor and then just roll your head a little bit from side to side. Release your jaw, wiggle your nose, whatever you need to do, and then gently come back into a comfortable position. Now, normally after class you would lie in Shavasana, but for today's class, I'd like you just to have your knees in line with your hips, that you're nice and comfortable. Notice if you're breathing in and out through the belly, in and out of the chest. As long as you're breathing in, the tummy rises, and on the exhalation, the navel contracts. So it goes up and in. Release into the shoulders. You might feel today there's just a little tremor into your pelvis. Put an inward smile on your face. And then from here, you could stay for a little longer if you'd like. I'd like you to roll towards your right side. You can roll your right arm up and roll onto your right side. Staying for a few breaths. And then gently on the inhalation, you bring yourself up into a nice easy seat. Crossing your one leg in front of the other. Bring your hands into Anjali Mudra. Keep the spine nice and tall. Notice that the body should feel calmer. Let go of the pelvis. May gratitude and joy flood through every atom of your being. Hari Om Tat Sat from my heart. Namaste. If you would like to follow more classes that I practice, we practice together, please subscribe, and I really appreciate you watching me. Thank you.